Greetings, real estate investors. This is Erwin Cito bringing you the truth about real estate. And I got a question from the social internets. I get these questions time to time. I don't mind them. I feel this is one way I can give back to the community that's meant so much to me. And it's led Sherry and I to each build a seven-figure real estate business. Mine in real estate. Uh, I have a practice of six realtors now. And Cherry obviously has an accounting business that largely focuses on real estate investors and realtors. It is called Real Estate Tax Tips for a reason. And aside from that, we also own a eight-figure real estate portfolio. My real estate business at Island Real Estate transacts on over 100 properties per year. 90% of those are for investment purposes. And if you know us, we're very close with our clients as we provide coaching services to ensure their success. The point I'm trying to make is we have our fingers on the pulse of the real estate stuffs. Investing personally, I've had my personal interest in over 40 plus properties since 2005. So while I don't know everything, I know a little enough to be dangerous, and I'm happy to share my experience in case that helps anyone out there. This week we have Duncan who asks, when in your real estate journey did you decide to engage a property manager to be able to focus on other aspects of business and investing? So my answer is long. This is a podcast, so it's a little bit longer format, which hopefully you'll allow. This won't be the hour-long format interviews that I normally do. This will only take a couple minutes. Anyway, so let's start off. So early days 2005, because he asked about my experience is back in 2005, we self-managed. My now ex-wife was our point person. Her and her family owned a plumbing and renovation company, and we had not a big portfolio. We grew it to 5 investment properties, but they all happened to be very close to where the rental company was situated in the suburb of Hamilton. So property management was done all in-house because, again, proximity was close. We had the skill sets all in-house. And because we could do it all in-house, it was cheaper than going out external. As I worked downtown in Toronto at the time, and based on my own skill set, so I'm naturally analytical, and I enjoy geeking out on learning about the business of real estate, economics, all those sorts of things. So I do all the virtual work. For example, I would do all the financial analysis of properties. I would write rental ads. I'd help craft offers. Actually, no, I did most of the work for crafting the offer because our realtor at the time did not understand investing. So I had to write the offers in terms of getting terms that were favorable to an investor. Again, I would review tenant applications and of course credit checks. Because back then, like we're talking, mid-late 2000, credit checks were like the old way. So it was all codes. It's not easy like it is today, where things are like color coded, and you're given just a number, which makes things really easy. Anyways, and then after my divorce, which was around 2010-ish, somewhere around there. Apologies. I had my own personal great reset in my real estate portfolio, and so I no longer had all those resources available to me in terms of skills and resources. So I immediately hired outside help to maintain our properties and to have boots on ground. For example, one of the first properties I bought during my own Great Reset, I should stop using Great Reset, and the reset of my real estate portfolio was in St. Catharines. And at the time I was living in Hamilton, so that's an over half an hour drive. So to me, that's a little bit on the far side. So what I did was I was referred a handyman who was a very, very good handyman. He did many things contracting for me, and he became my property manager of sorts, who we paid a monthly retainer to, a property management fee of not too much. It was under $200 a month to maintain the property and to provide customer service to our tenants. Cherry and I, based on our strengths, we found that our handyman wasn't qualified, nor did he have the skill set to do the tenant, write ads and tenant screening, stuff like that. So we still did that, mainly me, because that's what I was good at. And Cherry would deal with the sort of rent collection issues. My clients who have the time and skill, they do self-manage. Understand that they do have the time, as in so often my clients are married couples, So one of the partners in that relationship does not have a full-time job. So that's why they would have time, and they just happen to be handy people as well. So that's the profile of my clients who still self-manage after like 5-10 years. But they are the minority among my clientele. So that's not even 10% of our clientele. The rest of them, about 90% of them, use full service property management. And they don't just use any property manager. They generally take our referrals. We let them know who that we use personally, and those property managers, in my opinion, are the best that operate in our cities that we operate. And before anyone asks, our Niagara and Hamilton property managers operate on a referral basis only, and they've actually specifically requested to only work with our investor clients, folks who invest the right way, not slumlords. Far from slumlords, good people. If you need Kitchener-Waterloo referrals, no problem. Happy to recommend you to Diane DiDomenico. It's not working with. It's not the easiest to be a property manager either. A couple have recently closed their doors. I know a couple who've sold off over the years, and then just recently, one property manager in Barrie closed the doors. Adam Kitchener, who was just on the show, closed his doors, and another property manager in Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge. I've personally hired and fired over four or five property managers over my career, and that's just in Hamilton. So it's not easy. And before you invest in any city, make sure there's at least 3 high quality property managers. This is my own opinion. In my experience, I wouldn't invest in a city unless there's at least 3 quality property managers that I would be happy using, because again, in my experience, you're not going to stay with all of them. Duncan, again, he asked some more questions. He's worried about cost overruns. So again, from my experience as a professional real estate investor and my ex, I'm an ex-owner somewhat, again, my ex-wife owned a renovation company. So we did lots of significant renovations to our properties at a very high standard. So I know renovations quite well and what they cost, just because I'm in the business. A good property manager will save you time and money. The property managers I use, they have internal staff internally that are on salary. So they're like handyman stuff. The turnaround time is fast, and it's often cheaper because, again, they're salary people. And often these are not licensed professionals. For example, if I have a leaky tap, I don't need to send a licensed plumber for that. A handyman can often deal with that for a fraction of that cost. So again, I'm going to save on time and money, and simplicity as well in terms of booking someone to go fix stuff from my tenants. So then everyone's happier, right? I think everyone wants repairs done sooner than later. To save us all time, all parties involved, so that's myself, the tenant, and my property manager, I've instructed my property managers, if the cost is under $300 and makes the tenant happy, then to go ahead and do it. This saves me from having to be a bottleneck to approve really minor things such as pest control or a gas leak. I know that doesn't sound minor, but it's an odd thing to have to be to have to authorize dealing with a gas leak. Broken door locks, those types of service requests. I tell my PM, a property manager, in no world can I say no to these requests, and if I did, I would expect to be fired as their client. We've literally received. I remember a couple of years ago, on a Monday, our handyman / property manager, he texted us, quote, "There was a mice problem at X property and a gas leak at Y property on the weekend, but I took care of them." Right? So he took care of them without asking us, which is what I expected. And he told me on a Monday that everything's taken care of. Isn't that perfect? Like, to me, these are providing basic services to one's tenants. It does take time and money. So you can choose to do these things yourself. I choose not to because my weekends are packed with kid stuff. So I don't have the time to deal with these low paying tasks that I don't generally have skills for. I can pay between $20 to $80 an hour for these types of tasks to deal with. And again, I don't have the skills to deal with these problems. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps Duncan and a couple others of you out there. If you enjoyed this episode, kindly leave me a review stating so. And I'll keep doing these episodes because in between our regular weekly interviews. Because this is a bit of work for me to do. I don't mind answering questions. But if it's not of value, then I'm not going to do it. But if it is of value, then let me know. Right? Drop me a review on Spotify or iTunes, or even just shoot me a DM on any social media platform. All right. Until next time, hard assets for the win.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to invest in real estate from scratch, my team teaches beginners how to use the #1 investment strategy that I personally use in a virtual free training class every month. Go to investortraining.ca/YouTube to register for our next class. The link is also in the description as well. I publish at least 2 to 3 videos a week here, so subscribe if you want to keep learning from seasoned investors like myself and my guests. And if you're just starting out, feel free to ask questions and comment below, and I do the best to answer each of those comments and questions myself. Again, if you're ready to learn the nitty-gritty about real estate investing from a professional investor, register for our next virtual class. That's at investortraining.ca/YouTube. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.